Hello, this is teddygaming and welcome back to another review on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Tales of a TMNT Volume 2, issue number 11, The Quick and the Dead. So with this issue, it was one which I must admit I was quite interested in by the title, just because that sounds like really interesting with speedsters and stuff like that. Also, I was quite interested by the title with like the death part of it. So there's all stuff going into this issue which I was quite looking forward to it. And judging by the art for the cover, I would say that my expectations were a little bit lowered by it, but after reading it, I'm disappointed in this issue. So the actual story itself is basically just the turtles going up against some assassins, and it's actually really boring. I mean, I know I say that because it's turtles fighting and action and stuff like that, but there's not very much of that in this issue. It's just feels like it's there, but then I don't really do anything with it, and it's really disappointing. So let's actually talk about the actual story itself. We do first start off with the Foot Assassins and the Foot Mystics. They have these three people who are going to be the assassins that are going out after the turtles. And it's really weird because all of them are having a shower in the same room, which I don't know what to really say about that. It just seems really weird. But they don't really question it, they're just like going along with it as if it's like natural. It just seems like really weird. But then after that, they somehow get these powers, and they feel I don't know, like new people for some reason. So they get on these suits and they get on these weapons, and then they go out to try and find the turtles. And it's not really much of a trouble really for them to find them, because in the next page they find them. And this is where things get bad, I want to say, because this is like where the majority of the issue takes place, and it is just so disappointing with what they do in this issue and this part here. So in this part here, we do get to see the turtles, Mars Splinter, start to fight these new Foot Assassins, and you know, they're losing. Throughout the whole issue, they lose. And throughout this whole issue, they do nothing but lose, and I wish I could say much more than that, but they just don't do much. And for the majority of it, it's just the turtles getting punched and kicked by all the other guys. And again, I wish I could say a lot more about it, because, you know, it's turtles fighting assassins and stuff like that. But there isn't much to it, and there's a few like words that have been thrown around through the assassins and the turtles. One turtle was going to call... I was going to call one of the assassins a bitch, so I was quite surprised by that. And then another assassin was called Mars Splinter Skanky Old Rat, and that's pretty much about as far as it really went. There wasn't really too much I could really say about this scene here, and that's really disappointing because this was the majority of the whole issue. But then after that, we do get to see the fire hydrant gets exploded. I don't know how, and I've forgotten, and I can't be asked to go back and read because, yep, I just can't be arsed with this bit here. But in this bit here, we do get to see the Foot Assassins. They're looking at the water and amazed by it, and just scanning all the water. And yeah, I don't know what to really say about that. I mean, it's just water, so I don't know why people are just so amazed by that. It's just, again, it's just water. I don't know why like stand there and just like, oh wow, 4,500 drops of water. It's just, yeah, I guess it's one of those kind of things. But yeah, I found that to be really weird. But then Mars Splinter takes this as an opportunity to kill these Foot Assassins, and it's not like a satisfying death or anything like that. He just gets up with Leonardo's sword and then slices their heads off, and that's it for the Foot Assassins. And with this, we don't get to see the Foot Assassins like try to stop him. I mean, they clearly had the ability to go off and beat him up before he even has a chance to even like leave the ground. So I find that weird that they just, you know, they just stop to look at water, but then just go like, like beheaded, even though they had the ability to stop them all, which I just found like so weird. But then after that, we do get to see the turtles, Mars Splinter. They do leave and go back home, and this way we do get to see the Foot Mystics, I believe. They're spying in on Mars Splinter and like, oh well, yes, we can, you know, like even though this was like really bad and we lost and all that, it was actually really good for us because, well, now we know some more information about Mars Splinter and the turtles. And to that I say, what did you really learn? I mean, not much than what he learnt last time, which was when he was fought the Foot Mystic in the Butterfly Land or something like that. So I was struggling to find like what they actually learned here, other than what they already knew. And besides, it wasn't really anything new information other than just, oh, he's a really good fighter. So I just find this bit here to be really weird. But also at the same time, I do like this bit as well, just because we are setting things up for a future issue where we do get to see them go after the turtles and Splinter. And I do like this, just because with the Tales of TMNT like book, I was not really expecting like an ongoing story or anything like that, but to my surprise there is, and I'm looking forward to it. But I do think it will be like really confusing with like so many issues in between each issue with different stories and taking place between different times. I do think that this bit will be really confusing and trying to figure out like where issues take place and stuff like that. But other than that, I'm actually quite enjoying that there's actually like an ongoing story with this bit here, and I'm really interested to see like where they do take it all, because I don't know, I feel like there's like so much they could do and what they could not do, but it's interesting and really like fascinating to see where they do take it all. Well, there was like one little bit at the end where we do get to see the foot assassins or foot mystics. They basically taken the bodies of the assassins and basically like reincarnated them, brought them back to life and stuff like that. And now they're zombies, and yeah, I don't know why they did that. Just because they're useless at this point. They don't have their powers anymore, so they can't run fast or anything like that. So it's just really weird that they're just there without too much of a reasoning behind it. I do think that maybe if I do bring these characters back into like a future issue where we do get to see them have another rematch with the Turtles and Splinter, then I do think it could be interesting and good, depending on how we do play it off. But I could think that these characters will probably never come back, but it's nice to know that they are there to like come back if they are needed. But it's also a bit weird that they are back and alive, but other than that, it was okay. Now overall, I feel like this issue was just really disappointing. I mean, the title alone just, I don't know, really got my expectations quite high for this issue. I was really thinking a lot of stuff like what they could do in this one, because it was just so interesting and intriguing with what they were leading on to. And with when reading the issue with like foot assassins having powers and stuff like that, it just makes for a really interesting issue, because we've seen like this kind of stuff done before in like the 2003 show, where we do get to see like different versions of the foot soldiers going against the turtles losing a bit, but then they're able to fight back and stuff like that. So I was looking forward to it quite a bit, but then when the majority of the issues is taking place with turtles getting beaten up and they don't actually win until like foot assassins just get like mesmerized by water and they get beheaded, it just like comes to like really stupid and weird. But it was just like okay. I think that's like the best way of describing it. It's an okay issue, but there was a lot of room for improvement, I would say. And then even with the artwork itself, I feel like the turtles themselves weren't drawn the best, but I feel like everyone else in this issue, such as like the foot assassins, the foot mystics, and Splinter, were drawn like pretty well. It's just the turtles with the really weird physiques, I want to say, with the like chest and upwards just being like weird, I want to say. It's a unique look, shall we say, one which I don't think should be brought back, but it was an interesting look nonetheless. And yeah, I wish I could say much more than that. Now, unfortunately for this issue, there's no trivia for this one, which I guess that's a good thing, but I can't tell if that's a good thing or a bad thing. But yeah, there's no trivia for this one. But yeah, that's all I really got to say about this issue. I think overall it's a good one, but there's a lot of room for improvement. But yeah, if you do something, please share, like, subscribe and all that stuff. Goodbye, yo, bye.